snout's actually not longer, it's narrower. Yeah, thinner, whatever you want to call it, slim. Number of different words there. But do you agree they actually look quite different? Yeah, because they are fresh. You know, when they're babies, I just hesitate a bit. I go, is that fresh or salty? When they're young, it's a little bit tricky. But look, now it's pretty obvious. It's quite a narrow snout. Reason for that is these are fish hunters, and they need narrow snouts to slice through the water after their fish. So those of you familiar with gharials in India have got really long, narrow snouts, longer than these guys, because they're fish hunters, all right? We're about to see the gators. Their snout is U-shaped, because they're turtle hunters. They love eating turtles in the swamps. And so, and that's and turtle shells are hard, so they've got that U-shaped snout. These guys are fish hunters, so they've got the sharp teeth and the narrow snouts. And salties and most species of crocodiles have got that V-shaped snout, that triangular snout. And that's a jack of all trades. So they do whatever they want. As long as the prey's the right size, they'll take it. All right, so freshies. I love them because my name's John and they're Crocodilus johnsoni is their scientific name. But they live from Townsville North. You don't get them down here. Down here is salties only, except for Mount Morgan Dam near Rockhampton. Someone put one in there. So, yeah. Look, they're not considered dangerous, so the rangers decide to leave them there. Look, unless the only time you're going to get bitten by this, and people have been bitten, is when they're walking in long grass or in water and they step on them or go near their babies. Now, the mothers in the crowd, if I go near your baby and that, what are you going to do? Attack, protect, so on. Yep. So will they. They've got a right to defend their young. So don't mess with their young. That's just stupid. As you can see, they're a bit smaller. These are adults, but they're small adults, 3 meters max. So again, a lot smaller than the salties. There was an attempt at a leather industry around them, but being smaller, slower growing, and also having bones in their belly skin killed that idea. So they went with the salties instead and left these guys relatively alone. What else I want to say? They live in the same water holes as salties. Now, I need to tell you something that might shock a few people here, but salties are actually freshwater animals. Not a lot of people realise that. Look, I've done, I don't know how many thousands of people I've taken on tour in the last 3 years, and I reckon it's only a small percentage of people that know that. And it's a really big, important piece of information. Saltwater crocs are freshwater animals. All 23 types of crocodiles on the planet are all freshwater animals. No exceptions at all. It's just that the salty is the best at tolerating salt water. So it got called saltwater croc. But its preference is freshwater. But having said that, they're good in the ocean, and so the furthest one has been known to travel offshore is about 1,600 kilometres. So they can do ocean journeys. But in terms of freshwater, look at the Fitzroy River here, and I know some of you come from below and that, you're in the catchment. I used to work surveying the crocs on the Fitzroy River, biggest river on the east coast of Australia, for those of you who aren't from here. Really important river, and look, I estimate 100 to 200 crocodiles in the freshwater section, upstream of the barrage. All right, so saltwater in freshwater country, in freshwater water, is completely normal. Okay, and in fact, they're probably bigger in that area as well. Now, a salty living in salt water has got a problem. It's got a salt excreting gland on its tongue, and every 3 months it has to wash it out. It doesn't have a choice. So it can wait for rain, which around here can be infrequent. The other option, it will go find a freshwater creek, so sometimes they'll travel and find one. And for those of you familiar with Rockhampton, there's a creek called Gayville Creek. And at the mouth there is a sewage pipe. Good place to find a croc. So they're not dumb. Go find freshwater there, guaranteed. So yeah, so they'll travel to find the water. But otherwise, these guys don't have to worry. Now, so they do live in the same water holes. And when you travel through Northern Australia, there's lots of wonderful places you can swim, and some of them got freshies in them. What I'm going to ask you to do is don't make assumptions. There might have been big floods the year before, and maybe salties got into that area where the freshies were. So just be really careful about that. Talk to locals. Don't make assumptions. Yeah. I have snorkeled with freshies in the wild in the Kimberley in Western Australia 12 years ago. Absolutely fantastic. I was doing a really long remote walk, and I had goggles on, and I was just going snorkeling with them. They are gorgeous, gorgeous underwater, absolutely gorgeous. But if you make a mistake and swim with a salty instead,
it'll take you.
It's the last swim of your life. So yeah, so be very, very, very careful about that. And salties can stay 6 hours underwater. Very wary about that, okay? So my advice is don't swim with crocodiles full stop, but if you really know what you're doing, just talk to people first, okay? The other thing is, they will, an adult salty will take an adult freshie. No problems there whatsoever. An adult freshie will take a juvenile salty. So there is the circle of life. In terms of prey, they'll always take the smaller prey. Always got a preference for smaller prey. So I know we've only got one little baby here, but if they had a choice between a kid or an adult, they take the kid. So my advice to you is make sure you travel with someone shorter than you. So I know the gentleman over here has done very well with his two crockbaits, I'm going to call you. The lady in the blue top over here looks like crockbait in her group. So have someone with you who's shorter. Make sure they can't run faster than you. In Australia, we trip, friends, okay? I think we might leave it at that. Beautiful animals. Any questions about them? No? All right, let's go next door to our American alligators.